Hey guys, Freddy here. Welcome back to a modern magazine thing, because this time we're looking at Dungeons & Dragons Adventure issue number 53. Yes, we've had a year of these now, one every week for an entire year. Not that I've managed to get every issue, but I've managed to get most of them recently. Now, a few weeks ago I spoke about going to the store to buy it, going to the self-service checkout, and getting age checked for it. For some reason you had to be 18 or older to buy Dungeons & Dragons Adventure, just for that one issue. Now that's never repeated, and I've never got to the core of why that one issue was treated as being adult. The same as alcohol or pornography or smoking. But for some reason that week, now once again I got checked at the checkout for buying Dungeons & Dragons Adventurer. Went to the self-service checkout, scanned it through, put it down on the scales, but it was too heavy. So when the girl came to check me through, she checked that I'd just bought the magazine, that I was paying for it, everything was fine. But I commented, I don't know why the system has decided that this issue is different. And she said, well, that issue's got a lot going on for it. So I'm guessing they didn't weigh the tin of dice. But anyway, let's have a look at Dungeons & Dragons Adventure issue 53. So, this is Dungeons & Dragons Adventure issue number 53. Chucking the bag out of the way as usual. This time we've just got the magazine and another tin of dice. Nice storage tin. Be a decent gift, I suppose. I actually really like the colour of these ones. What is that? Teal? That's a very vibrant colour. The usual quality dice. They're a bit glossy and plasticky. Bit of weight to them. Not too bad. In the D&D Adventurer branded tin. This looks shinier than the last one. Anyway, the magazine itself. Well, same old cover. We've had this going for, what, 8 issues or something? There's 50 years of Dungeons & Dragons history. Every magazine, every booklet, everything has had individual artwork. Loads of books have had different pictures inside. And after 50 odd issues, you're repeating the same cover 8 times. Come on, guys. Do something different. Anyway, new exclusive adventure. Deadly drink, pick your poison. Group patrons, guilds and syndicates. Extreme weather, eldritch storms. And establish your personal history. So, inside, we find out the adventure, Battle Beneath a Blue Sky. We've got sage advice with group patrons, criminal syndicates and guilds, carrying on these. Got a section on poisons, a section on traps, a section on magical phenomena, eldritch storms, and character creation, personal histories, part 1 and 2. So, the group patrons have been a mixed bunch. Some of them are very, very interesting, some of them not so. So, we've got criminal syndicates. Whether you're planning a heist to get rich or robbing a stagecoach to feed the poor, the criminal life is packed with interesting encounters. Types of criminal syndicates. So, like the Skyrim campaign where you can be part of the Thieves Guild. We've got that going. And then we've got other guilds. Working with a guild can take your craft or profession to the next level. Guild perks, guild representatives, different types of guild quests you could have. These are fairly decent, not amazing. We've got poisons. Whether it's ingested, inhaled, or delivered on the tip of a blade, poison is one of the nastiest ways to incapacitate an enemy in the realms. I really do like that piece of artwork. That would have been a far cooler cover, I have to say. Use that on the cover instead of it, that repeated image. That would be intriguing. Anyway, we've got contact poisons, ingested poisons, inhaled poisons, and injury. You know, stuff that you splash on the blade of a knife or whatever. We've got the poisoner feat. We've got a table of different poisons and what types they are. And then we've got traps, part 3. Need to swiftly throw an fiendish trap into the path of a dungeon crawling party. Consult these handy tables. So you've got the trap triggers, trapped damage severity, damage severity by level. Trap effects. So the floor tiles are electrified, or collapsing staircase creates a ramp that deposits characters into a pit. Some interesting stuff. including a spell which might be used amongst it. Then we've got magical phenomena, eldritch storms. The storm coming in, it might be about to bury you in sand, burn you alive, turn you into a zombie, or freeze you solid. So big magical storms. Quite interesting ideas. The Flaywind, the Flamestorm, Necrotic Tempest, Thumb's Howl. And then one of the better parts of this issue, I think. Personal histories. So writing the background of your character. The life your character lived before they took up adventuring shapes the being they are now. DMs can draw from this material as the campaign proceeds, creating situations and scenarios that build off the character's previous life experiences. So, the typical one that everybody complains about is the larger family you make, the more people the DM has to throw at you as being in danger. But there are also people you can go back to for help. We've got family origins. We've got tables about tieflings. So whether both your parents were humans, or one of your parents was a human and the other was a devil, or mixtures of that. The place you were born. Now, these are interesting, but I think they go a bit too far. I think most characters should just be born in really bland places. But I suppose it is a 50% chance of being born just at home, with an extra 5% chance of home of a family friend. While other ones are, 1% chance of being born on the ethereal plane. It's just making out your characters to be too important. I like the idea that they make their fortune rather than they were born with some great destiny, born under a special place. Anyway, personal histories. Your parents and siblings may have had professional lives and live by the alignment in the same way your character does. So it's talking about where you come from, so your parents, what alignments they had, what occupations they had, what classes they were, how many siblings you had, the birth order, whether you're a twin or whether you're younger or older. I really like this. I'm intrigued to see what they do with this in future issues as they continue to flesh this out. I like the tables here. Interesting stuff. And then we've got Battle Beneath a Blue Sky. So, the players who have been in the Underdark for the past dozen encounters finally make their way back up onto the surface. They've still got the Orc ex-chieftain who tested them and is wanting them to fight a battle of honor for her. And they are approaching that Orc camp. But there are the undead that have been summoned up as mentioned in previous encounters. Now, I'm glossing over all that because there's not a lot to the encounter. There's some undead orcs to fight. Because it really doesn't make much of what it's got. As the characters emerge from the Underdark and into the crags, they see the sky again for the first time in days. The sky is beautifully, overwhelmingly blue. But dark clouds and distant thunder portend danger. Undeterred, Turka leads them towards the Thunderspear camp. I think the journey from the Underdark to the surface should be more of a thing. You should be going through the more surface levels of the Underdark, where it becomes just caves and all that. That the Underdark radiations fade away, that it feels vastly different. That is surely worth an encounter to itself, where they are going through this mid-region. Not just less than a paragraph. Hey, yeah, you come out the Underdark, everything's fine. It just doesn't seem epic. You've spent weeks and weeks of play in the Underdark and you're finally returning to the safety of the surface. Anyway, we've got Orcs versus Undead, helping the Orcs, travelling through the crags, the blocked path, crevasse, falling rocks, narrow ledges, an Orc raiding party, rivers, storms, and the Undead. So there's a bunch to do as you travel up from the exit to the Underdark to where the Orc camp is. And the encounter ends as they arrive at the gates of the Thunderspear camp. And we've got a lot of stat blocks. We've got Orcs, Orc Claw of Luthic, a couple of spells they'll have, Orc Zombies. I really like that illustration. We could have done with that a couple of issues ago, but nice to have it now. The Orc Redfang of Shargus, and typical zombies. So, a very mixed issue. The poison section's fine. The group patrons feels like it's been going on a bit much. And the fact that Criminal Syndicate and Guild feel very much similar. A Thieves Guild is just a criminal syndicate. It's the same thing. The adventure fails. It's just more of the same. We fought zombie orcs in the last issue. We've gone through encounters with the orcs and things like that. This is nothing new. And the cover builds on that because it's nothing new. And we get a tin of dice, which is always somewhat valuable. They are some of the more appealing coloured dice that we've seen, but it's yet just more and more dice. So that was Dungeons & Dragons Adventurer issue number 53. As I said, there's some stuff in there I like, some stuff I don't like. It's a reasonable issue overall. Not bad. But the problem, as usual, is that they gave us yet more dice. While it's a nice set of dice in a tin, I do like the colour, so I'll probably use those dice at some point. It's just more and more dice. I wish they'd be a bit more innovative with what they give us. We've talked about pads and things in the past. In the comments of a previous video, somebody commented that they should perhaps be giving out a double-page map with every issue of an ever-growing dungeon. You know, one exit on each side, so you can put them together and create a dungeon which goes on forever. Some caves, some dungeon rooms, some larger chambers like temples and things. And that'd be kind of cool. A dungeon that just keeps on growing, that you can use and is really useful to Games Masters. Now obviously I can't take ownership of that idea. It is a suggestion somebody made in the comments, but it's a great idea, and I wish they'd go with something more like that rather than just giving us more and more dice. But anyway, I've been wittering on for quite long enough as usual, so thank you very much for watching. As always, most of all, you look after yourselves, and I'll catch you later. Bye now.